This is a waste of time.
Hello, hello. Thank you for joining us. Oh, I fucked up my intro. Hey, guys. Oh, there we go. Hey, guys. Welcome to the Gig Economy Podcast, episode 224 with Gabe tonight. Larry is out sick. Gabe was planning on being here tonight. He's not stepping in. It was a scheduled night, but Larry got sick. Gabe and I were talking. We think Larry gets sick from when he does those heavy weekends where he does like 40, 50 rides, he ends up getting sick, and he's sick.
Every time.
Every time it feels like.
You're in those cooties with those college kids.
Yeah, right? They're all, none of them,
Sorry.
Whoa, noob alert. None of them wash their hands or wear masks or whatever, or come out sick. But anyways.
Saw those handing the card over.
Oh, yeah. The lifting with Larry.
Yep.
Yep, he ends up touching their hand. Go to gigeconomyshow.com to sign up for the newsletter. Anything Gig Economy Show related. Patreon, we'd love for you to join the Patreon. Patreon.com/the Gig Econ Podcast. There you get an extra podcast a month, exclusive piece of merch, ad-free shows, and pre-ramble banter. All that is available at the $10 tier. The $5 tier gets you the pre-show banter. Appreciate everyone taking a look. You can give it as a gift now. They have a special link if you saw that on social media. You can also sign up for a 7-day free trial. Our members, Samson, Bud, Steve, Omar, Delivery Cats, Frank, Jamie, Tom, Jim, Miguel, Linda, and Jerry. Thank you guys so much for supporting us. We really do appreciate it. Also, if you ever see anything on social media, especially on TikTok, if you're on TikTok, go search up the Gig Economy Podcast right now and go ahead and give it a follow. We'd love to grow the TikTok account so that we can stream on that. We need 1,000 people, and I think we're at like 375 or something like that. So pretty far away, but obviously anything that you see for us, if you can give it a like or a heart or a share, we really would appreciate that. And then we have the Telegram group, which you can chat in there, and everything I'm talking about, all these links are in the show notes or the description of the video. The Telegram group is where you talk it up, where Gabe and I talk today. They talk about gig work, comings and goings, just bitch about stuff, or just in general. It's a great messaging app. I really, really like it, and we've used it for years and years and years. So, yeah, not as busy as it used to be. Larry and I were reminiscing. I think on the last show, after show, we were just like, God, remember you'd wake up the next day and there'd be 1,000 voice messages on there.
Mm-hmm.
And then the one nice thing about Telegram, you can just hit play, and then you can close the app or whatever, and it'll just keep playing, so you don't have to sit there and babysit it while it plays the messages.
Yeah, but I think there was a lot of us, that drove at night.
Yeah.
So if you didn't drive at night, when you woke up in the morning to start your day,
yeah,
you had hours to listen to.
Yeah. You had basically like a soap opera that you could listen to during the day while you were working. But yeah, we used to grind it out on the weekends and late at night. I mean, it was a regular thing on the weekends, all weekend, that we would all be out till bar closed because that's where the money was at. But it's not there anymore. So doing different things to make our money. Okay. Before we jump into Gig Economy news, stories from the road, I will go first. Again, just doing flex, but breaking news. I didn't get any routes this week, so I've been doing Walmart Spark. So I did it last night. It's so strange. So I get done with work at like 4:10. I throw the app on. I did 2 runs, 2 shop and delivers, and then I got nothing else. Same thing today. Threw it on, got 1 shop and deliver and 1 grocery, and I drove back specifically from my last delivery to the Walmart and drove past it and never got another one. So I was like, okay. So I'm, I think made 40 last night. I think I made 35 tonight. Not a lot, but for an hour and a half, 2 hours worth of work. I mean, if it can't get a route, and that's what I was going to say is that I was in the flex puzzle hell yesterday. Have you never got that?
No.
So it's basically, it asks if you're a robot or not. So you click, what is it called? Is it CAPTCHA or something?
Yeah.
So, but this is CAPTCHA on crack. So it asks you, The pictures, Gabe, I'm not kidding you. I should have took a screenshot of it. It was so hard to figure out, and you have to do 3 of them before you can even accept the route. So, of course, things are going like hotcakes, so you're not going to get it. But I thought, okay, I've had it 2 other times where I've gotten that little robot thing. I did it, and then the next time I tried to grab a route, it was fine. Oh, no. Every time I tried to grab one, it came up. It ended up coming up 7 times. But here's a tip for you. They have to keep it like ADA compliant, so there's an audio version of it, and that is super easy. The audio,
Okay.
it will say like, tell me which number is the crowd noise, and it plays 3 separate audio tracks, and they're short, and then you just choose 1, 2, or 3. I mean, you still got to do 3 of them, but like, I'm not kidding you. I failed the first 3 times on the Vision one. I mean, it's not like it's so hard.
I've not gotten that yet.
Okay. Well, people say it's because it's bots or whatnot. I think it might be, but I think what's happening is we onboarded so many people. I think people are using the bots, and I think they're heavy on it.
Okay.
To do it. So what I ended up doing is I called Jamie, says call support, tell them you've gotten it 6, 7 times. They need to do something about it. So I call him. He gives me some spiel like, reset your phone, force close the app. And then he goes into this huge speech about malware that you can get on your phone. Like, you know what I mean? Like spam. It's like, just like a computer, you can get malware. And so I let him do his thing. I didn't interrupt him. I was just like, whatever. Because I was driving to my Walmart delivery, so I had a little extra time. And finally I was like, well, I don't download anything on this phone. It's just for Amazon. Oh yeah, because you're using different IP addresses because you're connecting to all these IP addresses when you deliver. I mean, maybe you can get spyware that way. I don't know. And then he recommended to factory reset my phone every 6 months. That was his recommendation. So whatever, I did force close. I did do a hard reset. I used the Android phone, and then I did. What else did I do? Oh, I cleared the cache because you can do that on Android. I don't think you can do that on iPhone. And then it still didn't work because you know how I tested it. Something came up for Friday, so I said I'll just tap it. As soon as I tapped it, it said, "Are you a robot?" So the one thing I did is I signed out and signed back in. It was gone. So.
Is that the one thing you didn't try the entire time?
Correct. But he didn't tell me to do that. I was like, okay, I've done everything I could on my end. I'm going to sign out, sign back in, and then I tried to grab another route, and it let me grab it. I mean, not for work. It was like one for Saturday for base. I was just seeing if I was going to get flagged again. So,
right.
I don't know. I saw somebody post on Facebook that they have gotten it too. So, I don't know. I can't believe you haven't gotten it yet. So I hope you don't.
Mm-mm. My iPhone signs me out like a couple times a day on its own, where I have to re-sign in. Yeah.
Your Flex? Oh, so you run? Okay, wow, that's weird.
Yeah.
Wonder
so
why.
Maybe that's why.
I mean, I never sign out.
Yeah.
I mean, it should work after you do it. Like I said, I've had it before, and it's given to me once. I've done it. Okay, they're satisfied, and then I'm able to get a route. Now, obviously, I missed that one that I tried to get, but
yeah.
So yeah, good luck out there. It's tough pickings, and of course, I tried all weekend to get an early morning one, couldn't get one. So then when I finally I got one, it was a 3.5 for 112, and I was like, yeah, let's fucking go because I could see it, and I quick grabbed it. It's like, are you a robot? Yes or no, or whatever it asks. And I was like,
I feel like they should hold it.
Yeah, I do too.
If they're gonna pop it up and give you a puzzle, like you at least tapped it, and if it wouldn't have popped up, you would have got it.
Yeah.
So like they should flag it to hold it and then give it to you.
Yeah, for at least a minute or something, or 90 seconds. Yeah. But I'm telling you, do the audio because you're gonna fucking fail the other ones. And I'm telling you, it's crazy. So, did you have any stories at all from the road of run into anything interesting? I know we both kind of just do food and packages. So are you still doing people at all, or a little bit here and there?
Peopled out.
Peopled out.
I'm peopled out. Like 20,000 rides between Lyft and Uber.
Dude,
I'm peopled out.
So same.
So like Instacart shopping, DoorDash, Uber Eats.
Okay.
It's killed my acceptance rating, and that's okay. I don't care.
Okay.
Um, but I cherry picked to fill in the blank spots, and it's not bad. At night, it's pretty decent. The shop
Okay.
orders.
Oh, the
Uh,
shopping ones.
yeah, and it's like 5 items. You're gonna pay me $30 to run in a store for 5 items?
Yeah. So you get the really nice ones, huh? Because I don't see
Mhm.
shit on Uber Eats.
Yeah. Instacart has been dead in my market because there's a bunch of new drivers, new
Uh-oh.
shoppers. Um, and what's up, Tom? I've been doing more flex, so I stopped for a while. I
Okay.
didn't do it for like a month, 2 months. Started up again, and I've done a Whole Foods now. And it's crazy. You know how you go to the apartments and you have the little unlock button?
Oh, I love that.
So when you go to Whole Foods before they open, you go
Yes.
to the door and it pops open the door and you
Same
go in
thing.
and
Yeah.
same thing. Super easy, smooth. I liked it. Just dropped stuff off at the door. It's kind of like Instacart, except for I don't have to shop.
Yeah.
So that was nice. And then I did the sub same day at the new Wix.
You're breaking into all new stuff.
Yeah. Interesting. So, we go to the stations now, or we used to, and then you would hand your ID to them. They scan it on their little laptop, whatever, and then they tell you where to go. You park in a parking lot, walk up this ramp, huge building, and there's 2 machines where you scan your ID. No person there. There's a security guard.
Okay.
And then your phone will tell you like the stage and cart, and you find the stage, on the floor. That's where they're at, on the floor. You find the stage, and then you go to your cart and scan the code, and then they make sure that you've started your route. That's what the security guard does. He makes sure that you've started your route. So you can't just say, "Well, I didn't start it," and walk out with the packages.
Very smart. Very smart. Yeah. Huh, I never even thought about that because they don't really make you do that at the .coms.
Right.
You get the thing and you could just pretend to scan your packages and put them in there, but
Yeah. Yep. So he checks to make sure that you're on the screen, going to your first one. You don't really see an Amazon worker unless you have a problem. You go to like this little leadership cubicle thing that's got a little sign over it, and that's where you would get your problem solved.
Yeah, I think we were talking earlier. I think this is what they're going to. I mean, they're constantly, adding robots to their warehouses and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. They want to eliminate people. I mean, let's face it, they're here for the long haul, but they're not here for paying people any more than they have to.
Right. And it's the true aspect of like being independent.
Yeah.
Right. Like you pull up, you don't have to wait behind somebody to finish loading their car.
Right.
You don't have to wait if somebody's having problems and you can't leave and go around. Like you back up and go. You leave your cart right in the middle. They have like a spot in the middle of the parking spaces where you just leave your empty cart and they have somebody come out and get them.
So you're loading outside though. Like if it was snowing like a bitch, you would be raining. It's all
correct.
Interesting.
You'd be, yeah.
I'm surprised they don't have a little top on the cart to at least keep the top dry.
No. No. Okay. It's like one of those cages for like mail.
Okay.
Basically with the side.
Yeah.
And the back, and then the front has like goes up halfway, and
they just throw all the shit in there.
Yep.
No totes.
Yeah, they don't stack it nice. There's no totes. They just randomly throw the shit in there.
They're probably just like. So what about stickers? I've heard that the stickers are different for like knowing what package, and what order.
Yeah. So I could not go by the sticker.
No, you couldn't, huh?
No. I had to, luckily I only had 10 packages.
Oh, that's easy.
So I just went down the list real quick with my marker and wrote on each package the number it was.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, with only 10, that's worth doing that with a marker.
Yeah.
When you got 40 or 50, it's like, oh, no, that wastes a lot of time. But it's easier in the .coms. It's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah. I remember in Grand Rapids when I lived there, we could not scan the tote because something would get fucked up, right? There would be a missing package they're pretty spot on. You scan and all your packages are there.
Oh, so you're not scanning each package either?
Nope.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Nope. I do like the loose ones I have to do, of course, but the ones that are in the totes.
I had one early morning. The last one I did, the lady was yelling at people to scan the totes, scan the totes. Because I always scan the individual. Because every once in a while, I know you say it's very rare, but the only time I scan the totes is if I'm missing one, just in case. I may have thought I scanned it, and I was just like, eh. But yeah, they're really pushing scanning the totes, which makes it quicker, because they want you in and out when you load in like 7 minutes, which even if you scan each package is doable. But
Right. Yeah, the only problem I foresee is there was a girl who was missing packages. And like there was really nobody for her to talk to.
yeah,
And this guy, he had been doing, I think he said for like 2 months, and he was like, just when you get to the delivery, hit missing package and just go that route. And she's like, no, I don't want to leave if it's telling me that that I'm supposed to have this and I don't have it. I want them to take it off now.
yeah. Why would you drive to the stop? Some of those stops are spread out like motherfucker.
Right.
You're not going to drive 20 minutes and then be like, oh, missing package if you know it's already gone.
Right. And she was like, and I want to make sure she ended up talking to somebody and they were like, well, you'll be paid appropriately for what you deliver. She's like, what does that mean? And like, she's like, I better get all my money. And like, she's going off. And I'm just like, I go, listen, what you accepted it for, you're going to get paid.
Yeah.
Just because you're missing a package or 2 or 3. She's like, I'm missing 6.
That's great. Good. That's a good day for you.
Right. I'm like, you're fine. Like, you're still going to get paid. She's like, well, what they said. And I go, I don't care what they say. Like, you accepted it. It's on your screen. What you accepted it as, like, that's what you're getting paid.
I mean, I know they don't have missing packages often. I mean, maybe I don't get it very often, but you know how you have to just mark missing packages and then they have to have the person with a little scan it. They need to have some system there. Although people might start bullshitting and say I have missing packages. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's got to be some sort of like catching these people if they're gonna like try to steal or whatever. But well, I don't know. It'll be interesting. I'm sure I'll do it at some point between now and peak, or between the end of the year as things get a little bit busier. But
yeah, my sub same day I was worried about it, but they were all in the same neighborhood.
Very cool. I know Jamie did a sub same day tonight, and she got stuck downtown. GR. Oh, she's hot. She's so mad because it's like all like apartments on Commerce, and you can't get in, and it's like no place to hide it, and fuck that shit. So
there's no way.
All right, gig economy in the news. Speaking of Flex, I saw this recently. Got an email. You can now finally cash out with Amazon Flex, which they had daily for a little bit, like for a year or so, where like if you did a route on Monday, you'd get paid on Tuesday. It would just deposit in your account. But now you can cash out immediately. You can do free cash out to your Amazon Flex card, which I don't use anymore. And you can get, free cash out to a bank account, withdraw to your existing bank account for free with funds available the same or next business day, or get your money shortly after cashing out for 50 cents. So this is the normal next day, or for 50 cents, you can, get it right away, or you can do it to any debit card. So it's finally, Flex is kind of, caught up to the times.
Yeah.
I mean, I set it up to get paid every day because, like, I don't know. I don't need it right away, but it is nice to have it in your account. You know what I mean? You don't have to wait for the week. But
well, if you use the Flex card, it automatically goes to your card.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay. Well, why would you? But it still takes next day to go in there. Because this says you can free cash out to your card right away. So the second your block ends, I think you can force it to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, well, that's good that they finally did that. I mean, 50 cents a time.
Well, remember when Uber and Lyft was 50 cents, and now they've upped that.
Was it like $1 or something, or 85?
I think it's like a 85 for Lyft, 85 cents for Lyft, and I think it's like $1.25 now for Uber.
Yeah. The only bad
and DoorDash is $1.99 or something.
Is it really $2? Yeah. Holy shit. The only thing that it's bad about this, I do worry about people picking up base routes just because they need the cash. Like literally, they're going to go buy groceries at the end of their route for it. I do worry about that a little bit because, before at least you had to wait a day. So at least it would keep people from, I don't know, maybe I'm not, that's not tracking.
You just want it to surge.
Well, I want it to surge. Like I'm hoping these people take these like 7350 3.5 hour routes and they drive to Montague, from Walker, which my last 2 Walker routes have gone to Montague. It's not as bad as Kalamazoo Drive, but it's seriously close. And I'm like, I drove 100, both of them were like 140 and 146. I'm like, $73 for that. Like, okay. I mean, yeah, you get to write the miles off, but like if you're in a gas guzzler, like $30 of your 73 went to gas if you're in a gas guzzler.
Yeah, no.
So I'm not looking to rip Amazon off, or I don't want them to surge. I mean, I would love them to surge, but I'm not gonna. I mean, I'm reasonable with it. $27 an hour, 27 to 30. I know I joked in the chat, and then nothing under 30. But for a while there, you could get 30, no problem. So I'm like, why would I take less? But 27 I think is fair.
Yeah. I remember that winter before I moved from Grand Rapids. That was $50 an hour.
Oh, bro.
And I got 2 free routes same day, like back to back.
Those were the days, just like anything. I don't like the last 2 peaks have not been great. I mean, it's been just normal, like $30 an hour. It's not been like 50, 60, whatever, I should look back at my old history of some payouts and some of that stuff and be like 200.
When it was $18 an hour base.
Yeah, so that is interesting you bring that up. It for a long time it was 18 and they have bumped it up a little bit, but then you talk about Faith and hers is like terrible. Wasn't it like less than 18 an hour or something like that?
It was bad.
It was like a 3.5 was like $60 or something. I don't know. Yeah. I'm not doing math, but anyways.
It wasn't good.
No. All right.
Well, when they're free.
Well, yeah. I think she's getting mad at us for saying that too much. I mean, not literally, but like she hasn't brought up the free one very often. She's probably like, these guys harass me every time I bring it up. So, all right. Amazon driver, speaking of Amazon, hits and kills elderly woman, continues making deliveries. You got this one, Gabe?
Yeah. So he was driving in one of the Amazon vans, hit, killed the woman, and continued delivering. The only reason they caught him was because the cop that was on his way to the accident saw the van.
Okay.
Noticed the damage, and then when they got to the scene, noticed the pieces that were there and where it would come from. And so he called for backup, and they went and found him. And what I like about the article, and I'm being super sarcastic about it, is Amazon says they're currently not allowed to deliver on the company's behalf. Like, currently not allowed. Like, how about we fired or we no longer have them employed? It just says currently.
That's a weird response.
Yeah. And then just they were deeply saddened by the incident, and our thoughts are with the victim's family and loved ones. But yeah, like you hit somebody and he knew, like he knew he hit them. And
yeah, what was the details of it? Like, did he say that I knew I hit her, I just had to get this route done, or like
he knew that he did it, and then he just had to get his route done. Like, they don't go into a lot of detail about what exactly he said.
Okay.
But it appeared that he knew what happened, and that he chose to continue to deliver packages.
What? I mean,
how
heartless are you? Where you're just like, I got to get this shit done. Like, I don't understand that. I feel so bad for the lady.
Didn't call for help.
Yeah,
nothing.
That's crazy. So now he's currently not delivering for them, and is going to go to prison.
Yeah,
because that's a felony. You can't. I mean, yeah, shit happens. You make mistakes, but you can't leave the scene. Especially like admitting like that he just continued to deliver the packages.
Yeah,
so.
He knew he hit her, and he continued.
What up, John? Nice to see you. Yeah, that's pretty sad. I feel bad for that lady
Yeah.
and her family.
Like, I just don't understand how somebody as a human being can.
Well, we all know there's fucked up people in the world, so it's probably best that he's gone. He probably was going to do something else. I mean, you never know.
It's crazy.
Yeah. All right. So speaking of crazy, Uber and Lyft unintentionally sent gig workers' social security numbers to social media companies, research reports. So this was a very heady article. So Lyft shared, listen to this. Lyft shared unsalted hashes of workers' social security numbers with Facebook and TikTok, while Uber shared unsalted hashes of social security numbers with Facebook. Okay, what is salted and unsalted? Hashes are used in cybersecurity to make information harder to be collected by hackers by transforming data into a string of characters. Hashes that are unsalted are considered to be insecure because they are not randomized the way a salted hash would be. So it's basically, the trackers that they put on the website. That's why when you look at something online, like you're going to buy something, you immediately see it on Facebook or TikTok. So this was all on the up and up. Like, this isn't something that, is unscrupulous. But a couple of guys were doing some sort of experiment to see how vulnerable gig workers are when they're sharing their personal data to gain employment. And as they were looking at it, they caught it.
Wow.
Yeah, so the larger context was looking at gig worker privacy and how that group of individuals that often don't have a choice in terms of how much of this online tracking they're exposed to. So we were trying to quantify just how much of their personal data is exposed, which parties are getting it, and so on and so forth. But so they fixed it, but that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, social security number, what? Like, I don't want TikTok or Meta to have that information, because I've never given that information to them. So it goes on to say that, of course, we have no fucking privacy laws very good in the United States. Europe is pretty strict on it. But he said we need more transparency and advocacy for privacy in general. If we don't want companies like Meta and TikTok to be gathering our personal data from web forms, we should make it illegal. It should not be allowed without a prominent disclosure that before you hit send, it says, wait, I'm about to send that data to a bunch of other people too. Are you okay with that? Even that sounds pretty terrible, and maybe it shouldn't happen at all. So, yeah, a little scary out there.
Yeah.
Do you subscribe to any kind of identity theft? I know that was big for a while. We did for a while, I think, and I think we just stopped doing it. I don't know.
I do.
Do you still currently?
Yeah.
I know there's a bunch of companies out there that do it.
Yeah, I'll get a notification.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like with me, I don't know. I just never. What I really should do is freeze my credit. That's what you should do, so that no one can try to take out. And I actually should do that. You should do that for your kids too. You should freeze their credit so no one can, inadvertently or someone should try. Yep, that's what John says. Because that's basically what happens. They go to try to take a loan out or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, this credit part's frozen." You know what I mean? And so it kind of raises red flags. But I don't even know how to do that, and I wonder if it's easy as clicking on, clicking off. I mean, not that I borrow money a lot, and I wouldn't need to, but man, I need to look into that. Maybe that's more of a layman's terms of not having to subscribe to an identity theft thing. But for a while there, I was a fan of Dave Ramsey. Now I hate him. But I mean, I kind of knew that anyways. But back in the day, I think I subscribed to one of his services that he was providing. But yeah, I don't do anything anymore. But yeah, I think freezing your it's easy, Larry. So of course Larry says it's easy. Just like being on the show, right, Larry? Hey-o.
Oh, you got sound effects now.
Oh yeah, I've always had. I got everything. Jason looks like the ultimate Trumper. I know, that sucks so bad. I had all these cool. Well, first of all, they've kind of ruined the American flag. I had a bunch of cool American flags hats. I'm like, I can't wear those anymore. And then the big beard and the tattoos. If you look at me, you say, "Oh yeah, he's a gun-toting right-wing and nut job, and I do have guns, but I'm far from a right-wing nut job. But yeah, I do look like a Trumper, which fucking sucks. Thanks for bringing that up, John. God, I'm already traumatized from it. All right. Speaking of, no, I got nothing.
Speaking of traumatizing.
Speaking of traumatized, yeah, there you go. It's hard to see on the. I should have made that bigger.
It says, "Feel free to take a leak on a tree. Please don't leave your piss bottles in the bushes."
And so I don't know. I think this was probably in a flex group, but like, who leaves? I don't understand just throwing piss bottles out. That is the ultimate. Like, I would rather you throw your cigarette butt out than a piss bottle, because someone's got to pick that up, and that's gross. You know what I mean?
It's like those guys at Mr. Car Wash.
No, don't start with it, McCallion. I'm gonna ban you. Yeah. If you haven't heard, one time at one of the car washes, they do a quick detail where they just kind of wipe everything down, and I left my pee bottle in the door, and they threw it away. So they took it out and threw it away. I'm like, oh my God, which is very weird that they did that. I don't know why they just didn't leave it. You know, they probably sniffed it and was like, oh my God, this guy's got pee in the bottle. So, I do. Well, I don't really need any maintenance for my electric car, but like when I had my Pilot, I did make sure I put it back away. So it wasn't seen. But yeah, this is kind of gross. I see those trucker bombs all the time. And what really cracks me up is most of those trucker bombs are in these little tiny like water bottles with this little, like, do you have a little pecker or do you have incredible aim? Because I don't know how you're getting that in there. Like, that's, I mean,
they need to get a thirsty goose.
They do. You can get 10% off. I saw that they were on pretty good sale the other day. I actually clicked on the link because I was checking my links. Literally, no one's bought one. Literally, no one's bought one.
Can you imagine, though? You're at the car wash and you have your thirsty goose, and they're like looking at it, wondering what the hell that is.
Yeah. And then they're like, oh, the cap comes off. And then just it hits you in the face like a pungent smell. Hey, if I could fit that, like, you know, all the cars have little, you know, in the door, little storage compartments. If I could fit it in there, that's what she said, I would put it there. I would use it. It's a nice product. It's really nice. But I don't know where I would put it. I mean, I don't want to just leave it on the seat or leave it on the floor. And I can
warm goose rolling around.
And I can trust that I know a Gatorade cap goes on. It's never failed me yet, so I don't know. We'll see. Uber stock, which Uber stock. I have been continuing to buy Uber stock, not Lyft, but Uber, Lyft fall on report Trump will ease self-driving rules. So they all fell after a report that Donald Trump will ease regulations for self-driving cars during his upcoming second presidential term. Oh my God, what is this? This is a big old ad. The report is adding fuel to investors concerned that Tesla's plan for robotaxi network could challenge Uber's command of the ride-hailing market. So makes sense that the stocks would fall down. Says, is Tesla a threat to Uber stock? I mean, yes and no. I mean, it's weird, right? I think Uber is really pushing to partner with Lyft. You know, it's like, what do they say? Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. You know what I mean? They're like, okay, we need to partner with them as much as possible. Like, there's different integration for the Uber app and the Tesla. Like, it's very streamlined on the screen, I guess. So I think that's what they want to do, because they are worried that Elon creates this and then all of a sudden, you know, it's the Airbnb of Uber, you know, or
I don't know, because you know all those people that are boycotting Twitter or X now.
Oh yeah,
and they're going to Blue Sky.
Already there.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, what's really funny about this, the irony of all this, is Elon is like, oh, I love Donald Trump. I'm right, you know, I'm Republican or right wing or whatever. But like, electric car is I hate that there's politics around it. So when I say this, I hate it. But electric cars are typically a left leaning thing.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, the irony here is like, he's on the right, but yet he's creating these electric cars, which is super hilarious. But going back to that robo-taxi, I don't know. I'd be super nervous. The same way we talked about like the Waymo cars, like people having sex in it. You know what I mean? Like just terrible debauchery that's going to happen, those self-driving cars.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to get into one.
Well, I mean, I'm sure they get cleaned, but they're not getting cleaned every
They're
time.
not getting cleaned after every ride.
Well, that's the thing too. So if you start this robo-taxi, okay, I buy into it. It's $30,000 for a car. Okay. Do I have full access to stream content in there? Because Waymo does. They can see if something terrible happens, they can pull the car off the road. But if I send it out, am I going to be able to see what's happening, or is that an invasion of privacy? Do I all of a sudden get a report from the next rider that says there's a used condom on the floor? And then I got to bring it back so I can clean it.
Oh,
I know. Can you think of all the terrible things that could go on?
Somebody pisses in it.
Oh, my God. That happens when there's a driver in there. Can you imagine with no driver in there?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I like the idea of some sort of loosely termed passive income, not something where you're like strictly passive. You still have to like maintain the car and stuff like that. But I do like that idea of having that, but it can't make too much. I mean, it's going to probably be less than what you could even make as a driver, I would assume, right?
I would think so.
I mean, they're trying to get as many people in the car, so they're going to lower the rates. But anyways, going back to the initial thing, their stock falls because he'll ease the self-driving rules. What does that even mean, though? Like, are we going to cut back on safety so we get that shit on the road?
Probably. And then you're going to have a bunch of
dead people.
People getting into accidents and shit's going to happen.
Yeah. I don't want looser rules with that. I want stricter terms. I want them to make it like amazing. There's not a piece of tech that I use now that doesn't have issues from time to time. So I need that fucking shit to work perfect every time.
I was going to say that, but certain technology that's small and not on the road in a 3,000 pound vehicle moving at 50 miles an hour, like,
yeah,
that needs to be flawless.
You got to basically, it's a bullet. I always call my bus a missile. Cars are bullets. They're flying around doing 75 miles an hour down the highway. Like, you hit something, that's all she wrote. You ain't coming back from that. So, real quick, I want to talk about Gary's apps. We got Maximo, Flex Alert in the middle, and Driver Utility Helper. Maximo is for Grubhub, Uber, and Lyft. Driver Utility Helper is for DoorDash. I don't know why he won't merge those together. I've never really asked him. And then Flex Alert is an app that helps you with Amazon routes. It doesn't grab the routes for you, but it definitely taps on it. So, when you're trying to refresh, it does that for you. So you're able to, put your phone down and not lose your mind staring at it and getting dizzy. So check Gary's apps out, of course. Links are in the description. He's a great guy. He's a guy that codes everything himself. He doesn't have anyone else working for him, and he's a full-time gig worker too. So if you ever have issues, you can join his Discord, or you can email him or hit him up on Messenger, so on and so forth. So thank you, Gary. Larry says, no one doesn't. My laptop reboots. I don't know what that meant. What? It's probably an old comment. Something I said earlier.
I don't know.
Who knows?
Or maybe he's high on cold medicine.
I hope not. He was working a little bit.
He was on his way home.
Okay, so Gabe, Lil Zay Osama hit with federal prison sentence for leaving a loaded machine gun in the Uber, and not a squirt gun, Larry.
No.
Not a squirt. He got me that episode. He got me.
Yeah, so he's a Chicago rapper who apparently has been found on multiple occasions with modified firearms. So his machine gun that he left in the back of an Uber was modified as well.
Okay.
And it was loaded.
Well, yeah, he's not going to have it unloaded.
Well, keep your shit put away.
Well, they're rappers, they're gangsters. They're not going to keep it they're going to have one in the chamber. I mean, they got to be ready.
Well, The prosecutor wanted to give him 27-month sentence, but it looks like they're going to settle on a 14-month.
That's it?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, for leaving it in the back of an Uber.
I mean that those guys want that shit though. They want that. I mean, there's obviously gangster rappers and there's rappers. You know what I mean? I mean, we all talk about Snoop Dogg and stuff like that. I mean, I don't think he was really super gangbanging. Maybe I could be wrong, but these guys want this little bit of rap. You know, they want a rap sheet a little bit, and so 14 months, that's nothing. He'll do that standing on his head. Although, can you imagine that? Think about this. 14 months of your life. Think about what you've done in the last 14 months. Imagine sitting in a cell for it instead.
Yeah, no.
Like having a good dinner with friends and having a drink and just like playing video games. Like none of it. You're sitting in a cell for 14 months.
Well, I don't think they're having dinner with friends like you and I are playing video games.
Yeah, I know, but having fun, you know what I mean. They're rapping or whatever they're doing. I'm just saying, personally, if I got a life sentence, lights out. I'm heading to. I'm gone. I'm not sitting there for 30 years. That's it. It's just not happening. Couldn't do it.
Can you imagine though being the driver and you turn around and there's a fucking machine gun in your back seat?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would just call the cops. I would immediately pull over and just call the guy. I wouldn't drive another foot. Like, that's all I need to get pulled over for my tint. And I'm like, oh my God. And then you say to the cop, like, what do you do? So you get pulled over. You got that in the back of your car. And they pull over your tent, like normal traffic stop, whatever. Or you didn't signal. Do you tell them? I mean, you do, right? But then you're worried that they're going to think it's yours for a split second. And you're like, shit, I'm going to get pulled out of this car.
Mm-hmm. Or if you didn't see it there.
Yeah, if you didn't see it there. They're like, roll down your windows. They'd be like, Then all of a sudden you got like a freaking pistol in the back of your head. You're like, you need to just leave your hands on the steering wheel. That's some scary shit, dude.
Yeah, no.
Scary, scary shit. Okay, so this story is about, I think, where is it? New Zealand, probably. Uber Eats driver who allegedly carried passengers unlawfully could cost rideshare giant $1.5 million, which is cute, right? $1.5 million fines. Basically, I'm not going to read this whole thing. The gist of it is like they had a glitch where somehow Uber Eats only delivery drivers were able to pick up passengers.
What?
Yeah. I don't know what glitch that is, but of course they didn't have the proper background check. Apparently, I thought, at least in the States here, that the background check they do for like driving and Uber Eats is the same. Like it never says, I mean, although I've never specifically just done Eats without having to drive. So maybe it is different. Do you know at all?
I don't know, because I'm trying to think. I stopped doing rides in May.
Mm-hmm.
And I just had a background check done beginning of this month.
I had one at the beginning of the month too. But I didn't know I had it, but I went to go get on the app and it said I had to do it.
I didn't even get that.
Oh.
I just got an email saying that they were running it.
Oh, okay.
And that it would be completed by a certain date. It was like 3 or 4 days. And then it was only like 2 days and it sent me an email.
Yeah, I just wonder if, I mean, we would have to find somebody that was like
just Uber Eats
that
only?
Just never done rides, because I'm assuming they do a background check for Eats too, right? Like I know I sound stupid saying that. Like
I would assume yes, because they still run it for DoorDash.
Yeah, you're still interacting. Yeah. So, but I guess I don't know if it's the same background check. I bet it is. Like, do you think it? I mean, it's not like they're doing something super stringent.
No, I think it would be the same thing because it's like federal. I feel like though that the background checks are more like there's more on the report now than what there used to be.
Okay.
And maybe that's what was it Faith that was talking about the background check, and we weren't sure. I did notice that this year when they ran it, there was more information.
Okay. Well,
on the report.
Yeah. John only has an Uber Eats only account. Well, did they do a background check? He'll be like, fuck no, they don't. I've been driving around freaking just no pants on and just delivering this food.
I think they need to because it also checks like your ID.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Oh my God. Speaking of ID, because I hadn't done Spark in a while. I mean, they want your firstborn, which I'm glad. It keeps a lot of people that aren't legit, but like you have to scan the front of your license, scan the back of your license. You have to take a picture. You have to look left. You have to look right. And it's like a whole thing. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. This is what I need to do to get back on the app. So
I've been getting that. Speaking of that, like taking a picture, Spark does that at least once a day.
really?
Like I can be in the middle, like I'm signed on and I'm doing other apps, and I'll go over because it sends me a notification that there's surges.
Yeah.
So then I go to that and it's like, it'll turn it off. So I'll click to Spark and then it'll say, verification needed. So I have to do the whole.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I wonder why. Maybe because you're not actively using the app, so they think you're running something in the back.
I think so, because even Uber Eats does it now too. Like I will finish a delivery. It's happened to me twice in the last week where I drop off, I hit complete, and then it says, sometimes we need for you to verify that it's you. And I'm like, what? And then I have to take a picture.
I like it because I think it's going to give us more security. I think for people that are doing legitimate gig work, I don't mind it. The only problem with it is like, don't fucking, like, the worst is like if you're multi-apping with Lyft and Uber and you did Lyft and then you want to turn Uber on and you're driving and you're like, God damn. And it knows you're driving. Like, it's not going to let you do it at least until you're at a red light.
As soon as you pull it up, the whole stoplight pops
I know.
up on your screen. Yeah.
And you're like, motherfucker, just let me drive and do this at the same time. I'm an independent contractor. If I want to put this car into a wall, I will, damn it. All right. Hopefully not. Yeah, exactly. Speaking of driverless cars, Gabe's Waymo robotaxis are now available to everyone in Los Angeles. Yay.
Yeah, they operate within an 80 square miles of LA County. But they don't do airport rides.
Okay.
That was something. So when they first started it, like there was a wait list, right? For select customers. Well, now they've completely opened it up. So there's no more wait list. So they don't do airport trips to LAX, nor does it allow its vehicles to travel on highways yet. So they don't go on highways.
I like that.
Me too, because I couldn't imagine. Like, I don't know how I feel. Like, we all know technology, it messes up sometimes. And I personally would not want to be in a car on a highway if something happened. They haven't said if they're going to do the airport or the highway yet. So like, there's no like, in a couple years or anything. They haven't given any of that feedback. But the nice thing is people are going to jump on board because they can play their own music.
Yep.
They can set their own temperature to what they like, not what the driver has it as. And what was it saying? They give, I'm trying to think, like it's a lot of rides.
Yeah.
150. So it was conducting 150,000 paid trips, and it's driving over 1 million fully like autonomous miles every week.
Every week?
Every week.
Holy shit.
1 million.
That's insane. That's a lot of miles.
So it's used, obviously it's used.
I think the public will adapt that quickly. I see the appeal of not having to deal with a driver. I really do. If like I was comfortable with it, I would jump in one too. Like I would need to see a good track record, which sounds like they're doing a pretty good job over there. But wouldn't you do that too? Would you rather have a driver? Let's face it, it's a necessity to have a driver. We have to have you. Like, I don't want to talk to you. Like, I mean, it all depends. Like, I'm not being a dick, but I'm just saying, like, I'm just trying to get home because I'm drunk, but I don't really want to deal with you. I just want to get home. I think I would be like, let's go. Like, hop in. I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah. Because I don't really take an Uber and Lyft that much.
I don't either.
But when I have, I've had some drivers where I'm
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. When my wife and I were coming home from Florida a couple years ago, the guy was doing 95 on the highway. And then it's weird. It's like, do I say something? Is this guy unhinged? If I say, I see why when we see a lot of those videos where the women are, I don't know, the guy's being weird or something, they don't say anything or whatever they talk about, like even in like subreddits and stuff. I was worried that he was going to pop off, and that's a valid reason to not say
Yeah.
anything. But yeah, I've had some sketchy drivers. Megan and I one night, that was the last time she said she wanted to be an Uber. We went out to the Mitten. We both had a little bit too much to drink. So we got an Uber, and it was like snowing that night, but the guy's defrost like didn't work, and he had a hole like this big he was looking out of. And it smelled like cigarettes, and I was like, "Hey, do you want to get another one?" She's like, "I don't care. Let's just go home, but I'm never riding an Uber again." I'm like, "We'll order comfort. We'll do comfort or above. That's all we'll do."
Ugh.
I know, isn't that scary? This, you know what it is. Remember when you were in high school and you had to get to school and you're like, "Fuck it, this is what I'm doing."
Or your windshield wiper breaks in the middle of a rainstorm.
Yeah, yeah. You're just, oh
Yeah.
God, it's mad. No, I can't believe neither of us died. I mean, it's so scary. But anyways, yeah, I'm on board for the Waymos as long as like I'm super comfortable with, you know. I mean, I need to see it adopted in more states before I think people jump
Right.
on. But
But I think they're doing it right because they're getting investors. Like I think they said, what was it? 5 million? That's what 5.6 billion.
I was to say
So
million.
billion. So they secured a 5.6 billion investment round.
Damn, that's a lot of money.
But obviously they're doing it correctly to where people are supporting them.
Yeah. Well, I
Look
think
at the other companies out there.
the investors see the writing on the wall. This is going to be huge. This is going to
Right.
be a big thing, and we want to get on board because we're pretty sure we're going to get our money back tenfold. And like I said, as these younger kids, they're just like they're more accepting of new technology and don't be like, this is hard. You know what I mean? Like us old people do. So I mean, I have no doubt in my mind that my kids will be doing that on a regular thing. They'll be self-driving cars because I think honestly, once it gets good, it's safer than humans. But to get to the point where everyone's using self-driving cars, I think that's 100 years away.
But they're working on it right now. Like,
Yeah.
so we have, here we have a lot of the car factory places where, they do a lot of, they're working on self-driving cars. And there was a gentleman who I gave a ride to, I think it was last year, where you and Megan go out, right?
Mm-hmm.
You park or you stop the car in front of the door. You can go on your phone, park your car while you guys go into the restaurant, get on your phone as you guys are walking to the door, have your car cut. Like,
Yeah,
that's
you can
ultimately
summon it.
that's what he said, that they want to make every car like that.
Interesting.
But I don't know though. You're in a parking lot, with your groceries, and there's fucking 20 people summoning their car.
Well,
Like,
that's
what
the
happens?
thing. That's the thing. It works fine if you're the only one doing it, but you can imagine getting out of a football game or something. I mean, it'd be like that video we showed where all the Waymos were honking because they were all trying to back up and position on that parking ramp. Like that's what it'll be. It won't work. So
Yeah.
individually, I think it's a pretty cool feature, but at this point, I don't think it's gonna work. But
No.
I'm in for it. I mean, I fought it early on, just because. Well, I don't drive people anymore, so I don't care. I mean, I do care, but like, it's just like I think it's cool technology, and I think it'll be safer in the long run. So, I'm just gonna do this drone one real quick. Just for Larry because Larry's a drone nerd. I don't even know if Larry has a drone. I had one for a while, but I bought one like it was like 350. It was pricey, but it wouldn't go that far. It was like a mini version of a I don't know what's the brand, DGR, I don't know. But anyways, So Amazon is a few months after ending its drone-based delivery program Prime Air in California. They've launched in Arizona starting today, which is, I don't know when this is dated, but it doesn't matter. Customers in the West Valley, Phoenix metro area have access to drone delivery selection from Amazon's catalog. 50,000 things that they can get droned over. Which I thought is pretty. That's a lot of stuff. It has to be favorable weather, blah, 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 daylight hours. But they are using a different kind of drone, trying it. It's called the MK30, which was recently approved by the FAA to fly beyond the visual line of sight, because that's the issue right now. They have to be able to see it, which is weird. What are you, on the roof of Amazon? Like, how? Like, I don't understand that, but how they can, you know what I mean? Like, they have to see it. I don't know.
Well, when you look at all where the warehouses are, though, it's not like there's neighborhoods around.
Yeah, I know. So I don't understand how, like, unless they have these little hubs in the city or in a neighborhood or something. It's very strange. But this new one can fly beyond the visual line of sight of drone operators, can fly twice as far, 50% quieter, and is built to fly in rainy weather. So that's pretty cool. I'm on board for that too. But again, it's just like I said, Amazon's trying to circumvent the person. They want robots, and I don't blame them. That's where the money lies. But I look at Amazon, they make so much fucking money. I'm like, how much more money do you, like, think of all the people you employ. Like, let's just keep it like it is. You know,
well, it's just like, look at today. What did I tell you? 5 times I ran into the same Amazon Flex driver.
Oh yeah.
Like, how many people are doubling up?
They're terrible at efficiency. If you ever work at UPS, like if you ever do like a seasonal like did, how strict and organized they are compared to Amazon. Like, you would never have that with UPS. You would never have that, like, overlap or anything. They are so detailed down to, like, they don't want you to make left turns. They don't, Amazon, it's a wild, wild west. Like, I'll deliver a package and I'll look on the steps. There'll be 2 other packages with different route and sticker numbers on there. So that means it was 2 different drivers that deliver that, and I'm the third. All they care about is quickness. The second that package hits the warehouse, the quicker they get it out the door. They don't care how much it costs. They want it to the customer.
Yeah. So, well, that was the same thing a couple of years ago with Amazon Flex. Like, you're the 3rd driver.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm supposed to have 4 more packages. I'm like, well,
sure, they're on the way.
They're probably on their way with another driver or a couple drivers.
Yeah. It's crazy. That's why I tell people when the customer says that, I'm like, Amazon doesn't care about being efficient. They just want the package there as quickly as humanly possible. And if that means we got to send a flex worker out with 2 packages to Montague, we're going to fucking do it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, well, on that note, lots of information. Appreciate you, Gabe, a lot.
Oh, of course.
And hopefully Larry will be feeling better. Next week, no show. It's holiday. Trying to, I like driving bus, but I want to really take advantage of the days off, like, that I have. And next Wednesday, we don't have any school. We only Monday, Tuesday next week. So
you're like, I'm not working at all.
I'm not doing podcasting. I'm going to kick it with my family and play some Call of Duty and smell the good smells that are happening pre-Thanksgiving. But I will have an audio show the following Monday, so you can expect that. I got a best or not the best of this show. I put together some clips and stuff like that. So
nice.
As always, don't put up with anyone's bullshit.
And we'll see you on the road.
There it is. Hey-o. I wasn't looking at you either. And then I was like, uh-oh, there's a pause. There's a pause. Nice work. This podcast is produced and edited by Hey Guys Media Group. Want to start a podcast? Check out heyguysmediagroup.com.